Sometimes the most fascinating insights, they come from the places you least expect them.
That's definitely true.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into an industry that, well, it might make you tilt your head and say, wait, what now?
Uh-huh.
We're talking about the global ham and sausages washers market.
Exactly. Ham and sausages washers.
Yes, you heard that right. And while it sounds incredibly specific, maybe even a bit odd, this is actually a multi-billion-dollar industry.
It absolutely is. And our mission for this deep dive, really, is to unpack the data from a recent report by Cognitive Market Research.
Okay.
We want to get beyond just the raw numbers and, truly understand what they're telling us.
What's the story behind the figures?
Precisely. What about broader trends in food processing, maybe shifting consumer habits, and sort of the silent drivers of growth in these global markets?
Okay, let's unpack this then. How big is this market actually getting? What's the trajectory look like?
Well, the starting point is already pretty substantial.
Yeah, we mentioned nearly $1 billion back in 2021.
That's right. Globally, it generated approximately $985.48 million in 2021. So almost a billion, like you said.
Which is quite something for such a niche product.
It is. And that figure is poised for really significant expansion.
Okay.
So from that $985 million in 21, the global market's projected to hit about $1.28 billion by 2025.
Right, a decent jump?
But then it really takes off, soaring to an impressive $2.18 billion by 2033.
Wow. Okay, so more than double the 2021 number.
Exactly. And this reflects a strong compound annual growth rate,
Yeah.
the CAGR, of 6.85% over that whole forecast period. What's fascinating here, I think, is that it's not just, steady growth. It feels like an acceleration, which suggests rising demand pretty much across the board.
So if it's going to more than double globally, where is this growth most robust? Let's maybe start with North America.
North America.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely shows robust, very consistent growth.
Okay.
The market there was around $393 million back in 2021.
Right.
And it's expected to climb to over $839 million by 2033.
So again, more than doubling there too.
Yep, with a solid 6.41% CAGR. What's kind of interesting is how mature yet dynamic this market seems to be there.
How so?
Well, you have these established food processing industries, but they're clearly continuing to invest in efficiency in these kinds of technologies.
Right. Makes sense. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Let's look at the breakdown within North America. The differences between the countries must be quite telling.
Absolutely. So the United States, as you'd probably expect, accounts for the lion's share. It's growing from roughly $310 million to nearly $650 million by 2033. That's a big chunk.
Okay. Substantial.
But if we look at the rate of growth, the CAGR, Canada actually shows an even stronger trajectory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 7.32% CAGR for Canada. That's noticeably faster than the U.S.'s 6.19%.
Interesting.
And Mexico is also projected for strong growth, 6.97% CAGR.
So what does that tell us?
Well, it kind of suggests that while the U.S. drives the sheer volume, right, Canada and Mexico are seeing a faster percentage increase, which maybe perhaps indicates accelerated industrialization or faster adoption of these specific technologies in their food sectors compared to the already large U.S. base.
That's a great point about the growth rates maybe indicating different market stages or investment cycles. Okay, so let's move across the Atlantic. What's happening in Europe?
Europe's market for these ham and sausages washers is also quite substantial.
Right.
It's expected to grow from about $284.8 million in 2021 to over $612 million by 2033.
Again, more than doubling. Seems to be a theme.
It does, and that's at a healthy 6.52% CAGR. So pretty similar overall rate to North America, actually.
And within Europe, are there variations like in North America?
Oh, definitely. We see consistent growth across the region, broadly speaking, but yeah, some fascinating variations when you drill down.
Can you give us a sense of those? What stands out?
Certainly. So you've got countries like the UK and Germany. They show steady, respectable growth, both around 5.77% CAGR.
Okay.
They're pushing towards nearly $100 million each by 2033. Solid numbers.
Yeah.
But then France really stands out.
How so?
An impressive 8.03% CAGR. Much higher than its big neighbors there.
Wow, yeah, that's quite a bit higher.
It's set to jump from about $28 million to over $68 million.
Any idea why France is growing so much faster?
Well, it could be linked to specific investments in their food processing infrastructure, maybe a government push, or perhaps just a more rapid modernization of, earlier facilities compared to others. Hard to say for sure from just this data point, but it's notable.
Definitely.
Italy also shows strong growth, 7.07% CAGR. And interestingly, when we look at the aggregated rest of Europe category,
Yeah.
that's also quite robust, is growing to 7.76% CAGR.
Higher than the overall European average then.
Exactly. It suggests strong, broad-based expansion even in some of the smaller or less individually defined markets within Europe, from about $63 million up to $154 million.
That's a great insight into the nuances there. Okay, let's turn our attention east. The Asia-Pacific region. It often surprises us with its growth dynamics. What's the story here for ham and sausages washers?
Yeah, the Asia-Pacific market, it definitely shows considerable promise. Really high CAGR overall, 7.80%.
Okay, higher than North America and Europe.
That's right. It's projected to more than double from around $185 million in 2021 to over $443 million by 2033.
And the key players.
Well, China and Japan are major contributors, no surprise there, both growing steadily at just over 7% CAGR each. China from $55.08 to $125.10, Japan from $38.07 to $85.08, roughly.
Right.
But the real standout, I mean, truly one of the fastest growing markets globally in this sector is India.
India. Okay, what are we seeing there?
It's projected to expand from about $25 million to over $68 million by 2033. That represents an incredible 8.95% CAGR.
And almost 9% CAGR for India.
Wow. What do you think is driving that kind of acceleration?
It really points towards significant industrialization of their food processing sector.
Okay.
And, the rising middle class there, increasing demand for processed meat products, that whole story.
Makes sense.
We also see really robust growth in places like Singapore. It has an even higher CAGR, actually, 9.23%.
Even higher than India.
Yep. Those starting from a smaller base, obviously. From about $7 million up to $19 million.
Right.
And Southeast Asia as a whole is also very strong, 8.98% CAGR, hitting nearly $50 million by 2033. It suggests, highly efficient, rapidly expanding food production capabilities across these very diverse Asian economies.
Fascinating stuff in Asia Pacific. Okay, so how does South America factor into this global picture?
South America, the market there is also projected for strong growth.
Okay.
It's expanding from about $65 million in 2021 to nearly $160 million by 2033.
Another region more than doubling its market size.
Indeed. And the CAGR is strong too, 7.98%. Very close to Asia Pacific's rate.
And within South America, who leads?
Brazil, as you'd probably guess, being the region's largest economy. It nationally leads here, projected to hit over $55 million by 2033 with a solid 7.60% CAGR.
Okay.
But similar to what we saw in Asia, some other countries are showing even faster rates of adoption.
Like where?
Argentina and Colombia, for instance, both boast really impressive TGRs, over 8.7%. Wow.
So Argentina's going from about $8.6 million to $22.5 million. And Colombia from $5.5 million to $14.3 million by 2033. It indicates, rapid development in their respective food processing industries.
Really dynamic growth across the board so far. What about the Middle East? What kind of growth are we seeing there?
The Middle East shows more moderate growth compared to some of the other regions we've discussed.
Okay, slower pace.
Yeah, relatively speaking. Its market value is moving from around $37 million in 2021 to about $67 million by 2033.
So still growth, but not doubling like elsewhere.
Exactly. It reflects a CAGR of 4.54%. It's a steady climb, for sure, but not quite the explosive growth we've seen in, say, Asia or Africa.
And key countries there.
Well, countries like Saudi Arabia, that's got a 4.27% CAGR, and the UAE a bit higher at 5.57% CAGR. They contribute to this. It indicates a consistent, but perhaps more, let's say, controlled expansion of their food processing infrastructure. Got it. Okay, finally, let's talk about Africa. We often see incredible growth stories emerging from the continent. Is that the case here, in this specific market for ham and sausages washers?
Absolutely. Africa actually exhibits the highest growth rate among all regions.
The highest?
Yeah, a remarkable 10.18% CGR overall for the continent.
Incredible. What does that translate to in market size?
The market size there is expected to jump from just under $20 million, about $19.7 million in 2021, to a pretty substantial $59 million by 2033.
So tripling nearly.
Pretty much. And what's truly fascinating here is just how quickly this specific market is expanding in some of these regions. Nigeria and South Africa, they're key contributors, of course.
Yeah.
Both show CAGRs close to 9.84%. Very high.
Still very high, yeah.
But the rest of Africa segment, grouping other nations together, grows even faster. A CGR of 10.62%.
Over 10.6%.
Yeah. It really suggests a significant and quite rapid industrialization of food production happening across large parts of the continent.
What do you think is driving that? It's likely driven by, factors like urbanization, a growing consumer base demanding more processed foods, perhaps foreign investment in food production as well. A combination of things.
That African growth rate is definitely the headline number here.
It really stands out. So when we zoom out, we're going to look at the whole picture. The robust growth we see across the globe for these ham and sausages washers, it isn't just about cleaning meat, obviously.
No, clearly not.
It's clearly fueled by rising demand in the food processing industries, yes, but also ongoing technological advancements, making these machines, more efficient, more necessary,
Right.
and just expanding applications worldwide. It's really an indicator of these deeper shifts in global food consumption and production patterns.
So, okay, what does this all mean for us, for you listening? From what might sound like a really niche product, I mean, ham and sausages watchers, we've actually uncovered a genuinely surprising, booming global market.
Yeah, it's quite something.
It's, I think, a powerful testament to the fact that innovation and really significant growth are happening in, well, every corner of the global economy, often in places we least expect, right?
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the sort of the bigger picture, it really underscores how vital even these highly specialized industries are to the global economy overall. It also highlights just how much opportunity exists in areas we might not typically consider. I mean, every component, every single process plays a crucial role in the larger system of how food gets to our tables.
Yeah.
And these numbers, they're a clear signal of continued industrialization, market evolution, efficiency drives, all that.
It really makes you think, which kind of raises an important question for you, the listener, to maybe mull over. What other hidden industries, or specialized markets like this, do you think are experiencing this kind of significant yet often overlooked growth right now?
That's a great question.
Yeah, what else is out there thriving quietly beneath the surface of our everyday awareness? Something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the unexpected world of ham and sausages washers.
It was fascinating to unpack.
Our insights today were brought to you by the comprehensive report from Cognitive Market Research.
Okay, let's unpack this one. You might be thinking, ham and sausage washers? Really?
Yes.
Is that actually something we're doing a deep dive on?
Well, yeah.
And honestly, that's kind of why we're here. You are, believe it or not, about to discover this whole world of surprising complexity and crucial innovation, too. Stuff that directly impacts what you eat every single day.
It does.
Think of this deep dive as maybe your shortcut, a way to understand a vital, often just completely overlooked industry.
And what's really fascinating here, I think, is how these machines, right, they seem so specific, almost mundane, but they actually sit right at this intersection. You've got global consumer trends, these incredibly stringent health regulations, and genuine cutting-edge tech.
Right.
So we're not just talking about, a simple cleaning process. We're really talking about a foundational element. It's about ensuring the safety, the quality of a massive part of the global food supply chain. It's huge.
And that's our mission today, really, to sort of peel back the layers on this seemingly niche market.
Yeah.
We'll explore the forces driving its growth, the significant challenges it's grappling with right now, and maybe most interestingly, the innovative solutions that are, popping up to tackle those very issues. So where do we even start? Understanding the demand for something like a ham washer? I mean, for me, it really begins right on our plates. What's actually driving the sheer volume needed here?
Yeah, you're absolutely right to start there. The primary driver is, well, it's undeniably the increasing global demand for processed meat products. Just think about the convenience, right? All those packaged hams, the deli meats, sausages you see everywhere in grocery stores.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
It's this subtle but really powerful shift. As populations urbanize, lifestyles change. People often trade, traditional, maybe fresh butchered meats for the convenience, the consistent quality, the longer shelf life of processed options. And that seemingly small individual choice, you multiply that across billions of people. It inadvertently creates this exponential need for industrial-scale washing solutions. It's not just about more people eating meat, but how and what kind of meat they're eating.
That makes total sense. So this surge in demand, it obviously requires scaling up production a lot. But when you're dealing with food, it's never just about volume, is it?
No.
Is there another, maybe equally powerful, perhaps even more non-negotiable force shaping this market, something people might overlook?
Oh, absolutely. Beyond just meeting that demand, meat processors are operating under, well, let's call it the iron fist of food safety regulations.
Ah, okay. The rules.
Exactly. These aren't just suggestions, you know. They are the ultimate gatekeepers for even getting your product to market. Think about the really rigorous hygiene standards. Bodies like the USDA in the US or the EFSA over in Europe.
Right. Very strict.
They demand microbial decontamination, absolute compliance, no shortcuts. Without these sophisticated washing systems, products just. They wouldn't meet the legal requirements to be sold, full stop. And the cost of getting it wrong, a recall, a public health scare. It's astronomical. It basically forces producers to invest in the best available tech.
Yeah, that's a huge motivator, isn't it? So we've got demand pushing volume upwards and regulations demanding absolute cleanliness. Where does automation fit into this picture then? Is it purely about cutting labor costs, or is there something deeper going on?
It definitely moves beyond just reducing labor costs, although, that's certainly part of it. Automation fundamentally reshapes the entire production ecosystem. Companies are increasingly deploying automated washers to get a level of precision and throughput and hygienic control that manual processes just could never achieve consistently, not across those vast scales anyway.
All right, consistency is key there.
Imagine a large-scale plant, right? Handling immense volumes every single day. Automation ensures uniformity, reliability, and unparalleled operational efficiency. It's about optimizing every single drop of water, every second of the wash cycle, something human hands just can't replicate at that speed and scale.
Okay, so with all this momentum, strict oversight, you might think it's, golden age for these machines, smooth sailing. But I get the sense there's some significant hurdles sort of slowing things down beneath the surface. What are the big challenges this market is wrestling with?
You're right. It's not all straightforward. One major hurdle is simply the high initial cost.
Yeah.
These sophisticated washing systems. They represent a pretty significant capital investment.
Okay.
And that can be a real barrier, particularly for your small to medium-sized meat processors who are trying to scale up or just modernize.
I can see that.
Then there's the complexity of retrofitting. If you have older production lines, integrating these new washing systems often requires more than just buying the machine. You might need expensive workflow redesigns, significant plumbing changes, maybe even a whole reevaluation of the plant layout. It gets complicated.
Right, it's not just plug and play.
Not at all. And finally, a really critical and growing concern is environmental sustainability, water use, energy consumption. These are massive issues for the entire food industry, and especially here. It pushes manufacturers to seek more sustainable, low-consumption solutions. But balancing that efficiency with environmental responsibility, that's an ongoing challenge.
You mentioned sustainability there, especially water and energy. Is that where we're seeing the most significant innovation right now, kind of in response to that pressure and the other challenges? What are the sort of cutting-edge trends emerging?
Absolutely, yeah, that's a key focus. A major trend is the development of eco-friendly and water-efficient washing systems. That's huge. We're seeing innovations like advanced water recycling techniques, these ultra-high pressure nozzles that use less water but actually clean more effectively,
Interesting.
and closed-loop designs. That's where water is filtered and reused multiple times within the system. For example, some of the newer systems, they claim they can reduce water consumption by up to 50% compared to the older methods.
Wow, 50%.
Which is, a game changer, both for the environment and for the processor's bottom line.
That's a really tangible impact right there. But, okay, how do you ensure that all this efficiency, this sustainability push, doesn't compromise the actual cleaning? How do they know the products are truly clean if they're maybe reusing water or using less of it?
Yeah, that raises a really important question, and it's precisely where smart monitoring technologies are. Well, they're revolutionizing equipment performance. And this isn't just about buzzwords, IoT sensors or PLCs, programmable logic controllers.
Yeah.
It's about real-time proactive control. Imagine a washing system that has these tiny internet-connected sort of eyes and ears IoT sensors. They're monitoring the exact pH of the rinse water, the temperature, the cleanliness levels, maybe even the microscopic vibrations of a nozzle to spot clogging before it actually affects performance.
Okay, so it's predictive.
Exactly. And the PLCs, these are basically specialized computers, the system's brain. They allow for completely bespoke wash cycles, maybe a gentle mist for, say, a delicate prosciutto versus a high-pressure jet for a robust salami, all adjusted precisely based on that real-time data. It helps prevent issues before they even start, moving from just reactive cleaning to, like you said, predictive, proactive hygiene.
That level of precision is just incredible. It almost
Mm.
sounds like every single ham, every sausage could get its own tailored spa treatment or something.
Oh, and
Does
all
that kind of lead into the last big trend you see emerging?
it does, yeah. Finally, customization is becoming vital. It's absolutely key. Manufacturers are designing washers specifically tailored to the unique shapes, sizes, even the curing status of all these different meat products.
Oh, okay.
I mean, think about the vast difference between, say, a perfectly uniform little Frankfurter and a big, irregularly shaped bone-in ham.
Yeah, completely
A
different.
one-size-fits-all approach, it just won't cut it anymore. Not if you want optimal cleaning without damaging the product. So this meticulous approach, it ensures that products are handled carefully during washing. It maintains both quality and safety. It's about optimizing that wash cycle for each specific product type.
Right. Ensuring uniform cleanliness, but without, messing up the product itself.
Precisely.
So what does this all really mean for us? For you, the listener, the next time you're in the supermarket, reaching for that package of ham or sausages, we've seen how this world of ham and sausage washers is, well, it's far from simple, isn't it?
Not at all.
It's driven by huge global demand, incredibly strict regulations, and this relentless march of automation and smart tech.
Indeed. And, despite those challenges we talked about, the high initial costs, the pressing environmental concerns the industry is innovating rapidly. They're implementing eco-friendly solutions, integrating smart technologies for this unprecedented level of control, and really embracing hyper-customization. And all of this works together to ensure that the food we consume is safer, it's produced more efficiently, and increasingly produced more sustainably, too.
So maybe next time you pick up that package of ham or grab some sausages for the grill, you might just see it a little differently. This deep dive, I hope, has pulled back the curtain a bit on this incredible kind of hidden world of engineering and logistics that goes into bringing safe, quality processed meats to your table every day.
Yeah, and maybe consider the silent innovations happening behind the scenes, often in the
Yeah.
most unexpected industries, right? What other seemingly simple aspects of your daily life might actually be underpinned by such complex, fascinating technological advancements, working tirelessly just out of sight?